Thank you. Hey, welcome everybody. I just got to a little bit of delay in, let me adjust the camera, and sharing the video on the timeline, and I will be with you just in a second. Hopefully everybody, in the meantime, hopefully everybody's doing okay. I hope all your loved ones are safe and sound. I know with a lot of people in the panic aspect out there, and the people are taking stock in let's face it, toilet paper, right? Are you able to, in this time of need, and I posted yesterday as far as, you know what does in sickness and in health mean? And, you know what, do you really go after it? And what does that mean? You know what, you can be sick with everything. Oh, you got coronavirus and I'm not going to be around you at all. Or are you still going to be able to sort of, you know what, love and care for each other? And again, it is not a right or wrong. It's looking at, you know, what works best for you two, and how do you show each other that you're going to be there in these situations, right? In time of need, in time of, let's face it, necessity with each other, to have each other's back in sickness and health. And again, you know, there's a lot of people out there that will judge, that will throw shade on everybody else. And it's not about that. It's about your life, how you want to live. And I'm all about, you know, it's not about being selfish either. And we all have our limits. We all have our limitations. And no one, you know what, lives our lives or walks in our shoes but us. But enough of that, okay? Chime in below, because I'm going to talk about, you know what do you really want in a relationship? And I'm going to talk about, you know, gender aspects as well. And I've done, you know, an experiment years ago for, you know, boy, probably about 6-7 years when I was teaching college classes as well, about, you know, gender aspects and about what they want, what you want as men, women in a relationship, okay? And this cuts across, you know, lesbian, gay relationships as well. And there's so many stereotypes out there, and I want to break them and to be able to look at, excuse me, you know what, all men want this, all women want this. I'm going to sort of get more clarity on that, and more specifically, what do you want? And I'm going to come back and circle around and touch about the gender aspects that I have found, given this sort of, you know what, unprofessional statistical research I did for about 7 years teaching college classes, or, you know, a particular college class. I taught college classes a lot longer than 7 years, but going back after it, you know, what do you want in a relationship? And a lot of people, they know maybe what they don't want, but I want to give you an idea and have you, you know, made a checklist. And this might be something that, let's face it, a lot of women might go through. I want a checklist where, you know what, my man is short, bald, has a little goatee. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm joking. But looking at those aspects, do you want somebody, you know, that shares their same, you know, philosophies about life, about sexuality? You know what? Do you want someone that is sexually experimental, that's sexually expressive, that loves oral sex, loves giving, receiving oral sex, that might be a little kinky, that maybe if you are one of those that are in the lifestyle or in a open relationship type aspect, that's what you want, you know what, you better be with someone that's okay with that or wants the same thing, okay? And there's so many different things to look at in a relationship, and it's not about, you know, a give and take. And as I mentioned on previous episodes, you can have a checklist, and some of these might be on your checklist, okay? But if there's not a connection and if there's not chemistry there, does it really matter if everybody meets your checklist? Again, you know what? I'm not here to discourage you. I'm not here to judge. I don't get into that. I look at how you want to live your life and what's important to you and what type of partner you want in your relationship. And also, you know what? Do you know yourself well enough about how you handle certain situations, okay? Are you emotionally expressive, right? And you end up with someone that isn't emotionally expressive at all, and it drives you nuts. It drives you crazy, okay? So these are the things to look at about, you know, what about you? Do you know yourself well enough, you know, where you stand financially? I already talked about sexuality. What about your spirituality, religious views? Are you an atheist, agnostic? And you know what? you end up looking for someone that's highly religious, are you going to clash, or are you going to be able to respect each other's differences and coexist peacefully, okay? And what other expectations do you look at and look for in a relationship and that balance you, okay? Do you want someone that is able to challenge you, calls you out on your shit? Let's just face it, okay? Or do you want someone that just ignores all your faults and how you treat them and what you know what? Don't promote that in anybody, but again, it's not my life. It's your life out there, okay? Oop. Excuse me. And looking at, do you know yourself well enough and how you handle situations? Are you an individual that is very, very defensive, and you know what? You can't take or tolerate getting called out on your stuff and what you do wrong or how your partner, feels. You're going to get defensive and blow up all the time, right? These are things that, what can you do to make yourself a better partner, as well as know yourself well enough? You know what? You find someone that's hot, attractive, sexy, right? You jive for a day or two, right? Oh my God, we're great. And then you find out you have severe differences about lifestyles, about how you want to live. One wants to live on a farm and raise a bunch of animals. I'm a huge animal fan, but I don't want to live on a farm, okay? One is a city, city person that, loves the city life and all that stuff. Or some is a suburbanite. And you really don't want to sell yourself out in these situations. A lot of people look at, I want someone that's, religious, that wants kids, that wants to be able to be, wants to go to church, that, is not that affectionate, whatever, okay? And you sell yourself out in what is important to you. Again, it's not a right or wrong. It's looking at, do you know yourself well enough, how you are, how you respond to certain situations? That does not mean you cannot grow or should not grow and evolve to become a better partner. Not at all. It's trying to weed through the deal breakers, weed through that you're going to clash with certain personalities. Say you are, you cannot stand being around people that are overly confident, that are narcissistic, that are arrogant, and that will drive you nuts and clash with you. Then you need to stay away from those people, or you find that out. Do you move away from those people, okay? Maybe you're more submissive in nature and you want someone to take control, to be more bossy, and you're more, subservient, if you will, in a relationship. These are things that are very important to realize and to know. And are you okay with it? Are you not? Okay. What about someone that also forces you to grow? Do you like that? Or do you want to just be content being who you are? Or do you want someone that's, always trying to force you or promote you to grow, to be a better person, to go after your dreams, your the essence of who you are, that type of thing? And then you go after the situation where, that clashes. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. You're trying to change me. You're trying to do all this stuff. And they're not. They're trying to be emotionally supportive and, have you happy, which is terrific. It's how you handle certain situations and, what works best for you. Are you an individual that loves affection? Okay, that has a high need for affection. I love affection too. And can you balance that with having your own individuality, your own space? Or do you need someone that has to be up under you 24/7? For me, that would probably drive me nuts. And I love affection, I love romance, all this aspects, with the right person, of course, not with everybody, but that you jive and you mix and you ebb and you flow with each other. And a lot of people look at, I want someone that's educated, I want someone that's whatever, like I said, good parent. Now, they could be a good parent, but that doesn't mean you're going to fit. So look at more specifically about personality traits and what do you, how do you gel with? What about your friends? Look at your friends. What type of people do you hang with? What type of, your relatives are you closer to? That might be a good episode. What their temperament is like. What is their personality, their character like that makes you feel more comfortable? And can you use that as a barometer, if you will? You know what? I want someone that sort of makes me feel like this. Not just in the friend zone, not a relative. You got to have that romantic connection. Absolutely, and the sex appeal for one another. or it's going to get stagnant and you're going to live as roommates, okay? Unless you're okay with that. Now, I'm going to go back and, touch on gender aspects, okay? The unprofessional, if you will, or unscientific research I did for about 7 years was during a couple college classes I taught, human sexuality, and I can't remember the other one I taught, development, I think, human development type thing. And I would split up the genders, okay? Men go here, women go here, and no cheating off each other, okay? And I would break it up. And you know what? I would have the guys go in a room, being gentlemen, right? Going in another room out in the hallway, whatever, and the ladies stay in class, whatever, okay? And you get in a group and just throw out what you want in a partner, okay? And there's so much information out there and so-called myth evidence, I call it, okay? Pseudoscience out there that says men want this, women want this. And I was trying to demyth this situation, okay? Not break it down into a right or wrong, but looking at, okay, what do men look for? What do women look for? And I did this for 7 years, and this touched on, age groups from 18 years old up to early 60s. Wide age group, okay? And they would write down all the information, except there was one category, if you will, that I would tell them do not include, okay? Because this would take forever. I would tell them what you want in a partner except physical attributes, looks, that type of thing, okay? And throw that out the window, and what do you want as far as personality, characteristics, that type of thing. And I would bring them back and write them on the board, okay? And we all know women are better verbally, maybe communication skills, than men as a whole. Okay, so women would always have maybe 10 more, 15 more than the men would have, okay? Women might have maybe 60 or 70 things, men might have 50, 55 things, okay? And what turned out to be, they were mirror images of one another, believe it or not. And I would step back and I would look and I would say, hey, I thought men wanted something so different than women, or women wanted something so different than men, and they didn't. Okay? Do you want someone in a relationship has a sense of humor? Or are you more dry, more serious, and someone that jokes around a lot would drive you nuts? You get me? Both people, both genders put, a bunch of stuff. They were mirror images. I want someone that loves oral sex, Greg. Men would put that. Women would put that. I want someone that is a great parent. I want someone that is a great parent. You get me? I want someone that has a great work ethic, that's dedicated. Both people put these aspects on this. They were mirror images. I want someone that, loves sex, that is a great kisser, that is fun to be with, that is my best friend, is my best friend. I could go on and on about these situations, and then the big thing is, okay, everybody wants these things, make you feel important, make you feel on top of the world. All this aspect, trust, both genders, of course, want that, right? So, mirror images of each other, basically, okay? Men want this, women want this, they want the same things. So what is the problem with the divorce rate? What is the problem with all the relationship give and take, Does it come down to you want the same things, but you want them in different ways and different avenues? This is what's crucial when you look at what do you want in a relationship? Okay, I want to be loved, but you want to be loved with a lot of affection, and the other person, of course, wants to be loved too, but they don't like a lot of affection. That's going to clash. You want the same thing, to be loved, right? Different situations. You are highly sexual. Your partner is highly sexual, but the type of sex you want is totally different, okay? Do you get me? One is a good parent. The other one is a good parent, where, one might be more permissive and the other one is more of a authoritarian type of thing, right? Both may be good parents balancing on each other. Can you ebb and flow, or do they totally collide and clash? You have to look at, even though the genders basically want the same thing, it's how you want those delivered to you. And how do you express those aspects in a relationship? So think about these elements when you look at what do you want in a relationship, and how do you want your relationship to be if you are in a current relationship or in a current marriage? You know, what drew each other to each other? And of course, maybe this is more for the single people out there, but look at your personality. Can you do an honest assessment? You know what? I'm more shy. I'm more withdrawn. I'm more, you know, I love to be out and doing a bunch of stuff. That I love to be active all the time. And you're with someone that is not that active. That is more sedentary. That's more of a couch potato. You are going to clash. Could be great people, but you have to look at your personalities and what jives with you and be honest with yourself, okay? And start going after these crucial elements of the person that matches your personality aspect. Like I said earlier in the show, maybe look at friends. You know, what are the personality types that are close to you? Relatives that you really jive with more than others. What are the personality differentiations that, you know, you sort of more meander to or guide to or maybe drawn to? And those maybe are the type of people you want to go after in a relationship. And we all know, I'm going to say it again, that there has to be, you know, attraction there. There has to be chemistry, a connection there on an emotional and physical level as well, okay? And then, you know, go after these similarities. Don't try to force, you know, you to be someone you're not. And don't assume, I'm going to throw ladies out there, that man is this way and I can make him, he has potential to be a great, you know, be more affectionate. He has the potential to be this and that and that. And he doesn't become that, and then you're disappointed. Go by face value. If people want to evolve and grow, absolutely. Terrific. Have them talk about that. Not lie, not throw shade on you, not be misleading or manipulative. Not at all, okay? But don't go after someone's potential, how you think they should be, because they're going to be a huge disappointment to you. And in all fairness, right, they don't want to be someone they're not as well. So, you know what? Do a gut check. Who are you? What are your personality levels are? And who are you really drawn to more in your friendship circle and relatives type of personalities? Go after them in your relationship, okay? For a relationship. And people that are married and, you know, in a relationship, how do you ebb and flow and how do you balance those aspects? Or are you, let's be honest, are you trying to fight so hard to be something you're not, or trying to be, you know what, have your partner be something that they're not, and it just clashes, and you want different love styles, different sexuality styles, different avenues about how you want to live your life on the essence or the importance of you. Not right or wrong, okay? Check out my website, theartofrelationships.org, people. Everybody, please stay safe out there. You know what? Care for your loved ones out there, and peace and love to everybody out there, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.